Aria Craig. Give her a round of applause. Yes. Looking beautiful, queen. Share your story.
Good morning, everyone. Is everybody excited today? Well, I'm going to tell you, I flew all the way from Chicago, and I am tired to be here. Yes.
Chicago in the house.
I want to thank Cheryl for having me. She thought that my story was compelling enough to share it with you today. And I am Aria Craig. I am an Amazon best-selling author. I am also a speaker, a co-parent and blended family expert, and I am excited to be here with you all this morning. So before I get started, I have a couple of questions for you. And this is no judgment, okay, but it's part of the presentation. So I want to ask you all, is there anyone in this room who feels and believes that their decisions that they made as an adult were rooted in their childhood experiences? By show of hands. Okay. Second question is, has anyone experienced a traumatic childhood event that still impacts them today? Okay. Well, I can tell you that my experience was bullying. I was bullied when I was 10 years old, from the ages of 10 to 15. So while I was preparing for my speech, it just came for perfect timing that a cousin of mine shared with me a couple of days ago that her 9-year-old son is being bullied right now in school. His teachers called her to let her know. He didn't even know he was being bullied. He just knew he was being teased, but he didn't know what that meant. So she asked me, because she knew that this is a very passionate subject for me. I blogged about it. I have released my first children's book, which is out there in the book center, about bullying, childhood bullying. And she knew that I was going to speak here today about the topic. So I'm going to share with you all what I shared with her. From the ages of 10 to 15, I was bullied because I had an overbite with a big gap in between my teeth. And when I would come into the 6th grade, when I would come into class, there were 3 boys that sat on the left-hand side of me. They used to go in on me every single day. And when the ringleader wasn't there, the other 2 boys joined in. They picked up his slack. Sometimes I would laugh just to kind of, brush it off. And then sometimes I would shake uncontrollably in my seat. And there were times where I couldn't help but to cry. I was so stressed out that when I would go home, I would have those white armpit stains. And you could see the sweat visibly rolling down my arm. And I would have white rings and trails of deodorant on my arm. It would get to a point to where I was so nervous and stressed out that I actually thought about harming myself. So what I did was I prayed to God and I asked God, I said, I really need your help. I'm tired of being teased. I'm tired of being made fun of. I'm tired of being humiliated when I come into class every single day and no one knew my struggle. So God told me, I'm not going to give you braces because that's what I really wanted. I thought that the braces would give me the confidence that I needed so that everyone would stop teasing me about my teeth. But he said, I'm not going to give it to you right now. I'm going to give it to you later. Right now, what I'm going to do is give you the strength and the courage and the patience to endure. Because what you're going through now, I'm going to use it as an opportunity later on in your adulthood. Fast forward, high school. I didn't participate in any social events. I didn't participate in any social organizations. I didn't attend prom or homecoming. So you all know, the ladies in here, you know how it is when you're young. You feel validated from the other females at school because they validate your importance when you have female friends, right? And then you have the guys, you want them to like you. So that validates your beauty, right? I had neither. So when time prom came, I didn't go because I didn't have friends to go with. I didn't have a boyfriend or no one that was interested in me. So I stayed at home because I didn't want to go by myself. Fast forward a little bit later. Here it is, now I'm working. I got the braces taken off, and you couldn't tell me anything. I was the cat's meow. I'm telling you, I was the flyest thing smoking. But I still had a void, and I didn't know I was still insecure. In my professional life, when my boss would tell me, I need you to speak at this town hall event. I would get nervous because I thought I was going to go through all of this criticism. I was going to mess up, then they were going to judge me and tell me, no, you're not going to be promoted because you were messing up in your town hall meeting. And then when they would give me constructive criticism, I looked at it as a personal attack because I was so used to being bullied when I was younger. So I didn't understand that it was really for my growth and development. Fast forward. My early 20s, I had my son, my only child. When his adult teeth grew in, I was so nervous. I was like, God, please don't let his teeth grow in like mine, because I didn't want him to experience what I went through, especially because he's a boy, and two, because this generation now deals with cyberbullying. People from across the world could make fun of him, and they didn't even know who he was. He had never even met them. I was concerned, and I realized I was imposing my fear on my child. So I said to myself, what can I do for him while he's young? Because your adult teeth start growing around 5 or 6 years old. What can I do for him while he's young? And realize what I didn't get when I was younger, so I could stop that cycle. Because when I was younger, what my mom told me to do was ignore it and it'll go away. And I'm here to tell you all, that's not the best advice to give. Because guess what? It doesn't stop. What I decided to do was I instilled confidence in him younger. Because like I told you before, I thought that I was going to get the confidence when I got older, when I got the braces. So that was like a false sense of security. So when he was about 5 or 6, I decided I'm going to instill the confidence in you right now so that you can have everything that you were needed and equipped with by the time you get to a certain point in your life where you feel like if you are being bullied, you can handle it a whole lot better. You can cope with it a whole lot better. And guess what, y'all? His teeth grew in just like mine, and I was scared. Once I instilled in him that confidence, he was so smooth, I'm telling y'all. He became extroverted. I was very introverted because I was very insecure. So much so to where we moved from one neighborhood to another in a very diverse community, which was on purpose. We moved in the middle of his 3rd grade year. By the time he started 5th grade, he ran for student council. So he said to himself, I'm going to win for class president. My son created his speech. I sat and I worked with him. So when the day came for all of the candidates to present their speeches, the principal asked them, now which one of you all is going to go first? My son did just like me. I will. He came and walked up to that mic with his crisp white shirt, had on his tie, his slacks, and his glasses, presented his speech with his talking points, looked out to the audience to engage them, and I tell you, 5th grade, he won class president. And had only been there for a year and a half. So I said, that's it. That was the breakthrough. I figured out you teach them early. Establish the empowerment, the confidence. That confidence that I instilled in him increased his self-esteem, which increased his validation in himself, through himself, by himself. Fast forward. And these are things that I explained to my cousin, so now she's getting it. She's working with her son to teach him how not to cover your smile, how to stand in your own, and to feel like you're amazing and you're handsome. Give him those affirmations every single day to let him know that there is nothing wrong with you. Don't let somebody else's perception become your reality. Fast forward. Now here it is. I would see young ladies off on the corner. Some, little girls, they would sit there and they're by themselves and they're very quiet. And you see another little group of girls over there laughing and snickering at them. And it breaks my heart because just because they don't have weave coming down their backs and they don't have on a fresh coat of nail polish doesn't mean that they're not amazing. Then you see the young man sitting over in the corner being quiet and being still, and see the other group of boys talking about him, and he doesn't know how to connect with them, and he doesn't know how to engage because he's too scared. That's very personal for me because of that. So I said, what can I do to make sure that I am bringing a message about what I was taught and what I was learned? So we're going to fast forward to 2018, and here it is. I remember what God told me when I was 10 in that bathroom, that day is going to come. I've written books for parents. Now it was my turn to write something for children, for a social issue that I'm too well versed in to help them and advocate for them on their behalf. So I decided to write a book about bullying. It took me 45 minutes, and every single page was emotional. Every page. Thank you. It was emotional for me. I named the book Bubbles, the Beautiful Butterfly, and the Bully That Chloe Conquers. And y'all should see the cover of this book. I'm telling y'all should see the cover of this book. It's about a 10-year-old little girl who goes to school every day. She's bullied. And what she does is how she deals with it is she ignores her bully. And it gets to a point to where it gets overwhelming for her and she doesn't know what to do until she meets a butterfly by the name of Bubbles, who equips her with the tools that she needs to empower herself, build her self-esteem and her confidence, and gives her these processes that she has to recite and do every single day, because it's a process, it's steps you have to go through. It's not going to happen overnight. And eventually, she conquers her bully. Just so you all know, that 10-year-old little girl was me. And also, the butterfly was me as an adult, because my nickname is Bubbles. So I just want to thank you all for being here today, for hearing my story. My books are actually being sold out in the book center. October is National Bullying Prevention Month, and I'm actually partnering with a nonprofit organization by the name of PACER that helps to support and to provide resources for people who have been bullying, for bullying prevention. So I want to thank you very much. My name is Aria Craig, and I'll see you out in the back. Thank you.
Great job, Aria.